Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap, a look ahead. First day back from a bit of a little holiday weekend with the Jewish holidays, which is why I wasn't in yesterday, but I'm glad I got to the desk today, even though some people still go to temple today, but not me. Like I said, I have an Italian wife, so I've been a little diluted. I'm kidding. Anyway, everyone didn't know what to expect, so when you don't know what to expect, you use your process, and my process said, do we hold 2864? Why was that important? That was last week's low in the S&P cash. And do we reclaim yesterday's low? So what do? Do we hold it and reclaim it? So what happened today? We held last week's low, and we reclaimed yesterday's low. And if you're on the VTF, you saw I got long, the spiders. I had Apple overnight, bought a little bit versus a double bottom. A lot of guys played the Red Dog reversal on Amazon. There were some things to buy in high beta tech. A lot of levels got reclaimed, and all of a sudden, boom, you had a great hour of trading. Then, if you stayed with some, we kind of trended all day, and now we do have some engulfing bars that could be a signal that, hey, maybe that was the orderly corrective phase. But again, September 11th, September could be a choppy month. No need to be all in, but just don't be, rolling up shorts if you're caught because you thought, hey, it's crash or crisis time. At this point, we still held the 21-day in the S&P cash, which still, is pretty constructive. So let's just get to the charts. So here is the S&P cash. Like I said before, this was last week's low, 2864. It's unbelievable the memory I have with these levels because I don't remember to take the garbage out enough. My wife gets upset. But anyway, that was that low. And then what was yesterday's low? That was 2875. So you could have been a buyer here with this is your low. Oh my goodness, what kind of stop is that? That's two handles. Or you could say, hey, I'm going to wait till we reclaim this low, which was 2875. Now we have a push back up to some resistance, but all in all, nice little trade. I did buy the spiders pre-market, okay, and then I bought a little bit more when we reclaimed this spot, and I'm still in some. Look at this, spiders, what was that? 286.98, what's this? 286.71. You were risking 17 cents if you bought it versus that level, and if you are part of Redler All Access, you understand my language. When I say buy versus a level, it means you could buy versus it, meaning that's your stop. Could have went through it, could have pushed lower, could have went all the way down here, didn't. Could push through it also and then come back above it. That's also a way to do it. Or, said, hey, I didn't feel like buying it here. You watch tech get strong, and then boom, you could have bought it when it reclaimed 287.88 and still made $1.30 or so. So anyway, pretty engulfing bar. Doesn't mean we're heading right back to the highs of the year, but it shows that the bears didn't have that much power. So we'll see. I am back to net long, and we'll see if we continue to build. I will probably build some of my positions. I came in this time. I remember, like one position, and the next day we held the gap, and I got into more, and then we wound up having a 2-3 week move before selling most of my portfolio approach. Now, we'll see. If we down 200 points tomorrow, I'll get stopped out, and okay, let me get out of the way. That kind of sucked. Or hey, we hang in there, or we get a little bit of follow through, and then we wait and see, and we use today's high tomorrow, 289.55. We'll see how we open. The Qs held that important level. What was that level? Wow, right there. I did not buy the Qs. I was too involved in Apple. I bought a little bit too money too early, but anyway, this was 180.52. What's this? 180.44. Wow. What's that? 8 cents? And then it actually had enough power to take out this inside bar, kind of like what happened here, or actually more like here. This was like more like a, I had some bearish bars, probably got out of the way, and then it held in here and cleared that spot. So here it's kind of like some were thinking a bear flag, but it ignited above it. This was also looking like a bear flag, but it resolved higher. This also was looking like a bear flag, but it resolved higher. And what a quinky thing. They all held the 21-day, or what is this? Actually, sorry, the 50-day. So anyway, that's a little bit of a brushback pitch. Maybe there's some follow through. Maybe it gets back up to here. We'll measure it along the way. I'm not in the Qs. What did the IBBs do? I don't think they did much. Kind of hung there with the doji. Sometimes it likes to trade on its own at this point. Not special, but you have a little 3-day range here. Maybe tomorrow there'll be some kind of trade there. IWM, what did you do? Hanging in. If you draw your line this way now, kind of hanging, going sideways maybe. This will give us some clues that, the market could go again, kind of like what happened when it broke above this. It did it before the S&P cash. Now we'll see, does this happen kind of here for the small caps. Yesterday I was on my way home. you know, from the holiday on my way to another dinner, and I was like, ooh, I got to buy a little apple, you know. It's down $4. I tweeted to you guys saying, hey, if you're on the VTF, you saw, you know, but I bought some apple around, I think it was 217-ish. It closed around 218-ish, and then you even had a chance to buy it better than I did yesterday, you know, using yesterday's low. What did Apple do? Came in, tested that low, and then took off. I was not thinking it was going to have that kind of a bounce. I was kind of thinking we'd get some kind of bounce to here, and then maybe we'd be dealing with this tomorrow. It went further. I sold it. My last sale was around 222. It did go higher. That's fine. All in all, you know, this is a big pulling off the highs. What was this low? 216.47. What was this low? Oh my goodness, 7 or 8 cents. Anyway, you know, nice engulfing bar. Tomorrow, I think the event is at 1 o'clock, so maybe it opens up a little bit if you're long some. You know, I didn't take it overnight. I probably could have some. I just didn't. But all in all, you know, if you remember, we had an awesome trade here from, you know, from 215-ish. We added 219-ish, sold 225-ish, didn't get the top. But, you know, I haven't been in it for a few days, and then was able to buy yesterday, add today, and sell it. That's how you tactically trade. This was a swing position above the 8-day. Here, as it broke it, this was a tester position. And now, you know, it worked out pretty well. Now we'll see what's next. Amazon, I traded a little bit. I definitely messed it up. I had too many Apple in pain when this happened here. I didn't want the slippage, but what did it do? Went below 1931, came back above it, closed above it, 1987. Wow. Ultimately, very strong. I missed it. It is what it is. You know, I hope it just doesn't go and all of a sudden I'm out of sequence with Amazon, because I've been in pretty good sequence with Amazon. You know, bought it for this new high trade, traded it here, long it, added for this new high trade. I should have been a buyer today. I made a little scalp, nothing even worth talking about, and it closed well. You know, if it's down a few bucks after hours, I might even buy a little bit, but at this point, you know, I guess I should have some just to trade along, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't have it overnight. I do have a little Netflix overnight. I just feel like I was, you know, able to handle it a little bit better. If tomorrow we'll get some kind of curveball. It did close a little bit above this 3-day range. Has some room to here, so I'm thinking, hey, you know, it's got $3, $4 for, you know, to own something. Some people are trying to point to what could be the start of an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which could be true. And then this would be like the neckline. So, you know, if you buy it, you could be long versus here if you're a swing trader, or if you're actively trading. You know, it's been a lot of misdirection, so we'll just take care. If we open down tomorrow, maybe we could buy it to go green. If it opens up, you sell some, and then you figure out, does this get better again? Facebook, some people bought it early. I did not. You know, this to me has been like the most broken, but, you know, it has some room to here if it wants it, or to here, which is what it hit. You know, higher lows. Today was like down 50 cents while the market was down 8-9 handles, and here you go, touching the 8-day, which has kind of been some resistance. I wouldn't just short it here, just because, you know, it could go higher, and if the market wants to bounce more, this is Facebook. And, you know, if you want home short Facebook because it had a 3-day bounce, okay. I would think that I'd just rather, if you bought it and, you know, you wanted to trim some, fine, but it still could see a little bit higher. But that's up to you guys. Google had a little bit of a bounce, you know, actually a bit of a bounce. Held above this prior pivot. I did not go with it. Reclaimed both those pivots, and it does seem, if it wants to, it could see, you know, this area, which is still another 10 points. And, you know, if you sold when it broke this area, or when it did a red dog reversal here, maybe you bought some back in the hole, and now there is a little bit more room if it wants to bounce, but I just didn't go with it. I'm not that confident on everything yet. AMD took the day off, a little bit of a doji. Here was your day to buy. When I took this out, to give you a little follow through, and now we'll see if this holds here to go sideways. What did NVIDIA do? NVIDIA, semis were a little weaker today, so we'll see what that means. At this point, I guess if you're long, I'd use this low. Some people pointed to Square. Square actually looks pretty good. I'm not in it. If you had to be in something overnight, this looks like it's ready to break out again. Some of you were talking about Roku, 3rd day up. Best day to buy this thing is when it breaks out over a high, and now it's up 4 days, so you probably want to reduce, not just go home all in because it closed strong, but doesn't mean it's in a short. This looks like what Square right did here, you know. So this looks like something to take. You know, if I wanted to be in the mood and take home 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions, this would probably be one of them. The scrub also looks like one of them. You know, made a new high here. Took back, held the 21-day, took back the 8-day, closed at highs. You would think it could open up tomorrow, for those of you guys who are in that. I actually am in Bob. I haven't been in Bob overnight in such a long time. Does it mean it's over? You know, it's going to bounce, go back to 200? No, it just means that, you know, for some reason I feel like Trump won't bash China tonight with everything going on with the hurricane, and maybe Asia bounces, and, you know, you could see a move not even to here, just, yeah, I would even take it just back to 160-ish, you know, $2.50 just for some cash flow, maybe even a little bit higher. Nice reversal. Some of you guys bought it when it reclaimed 155. I was a little late. Might as well check out what did Baidu do. Yeah, same thing. If you're, you know, had to be in all these Chinese names. This one never broke the macro level. Gave you a nice engulfing bar. So if it's up tomorrow, that's something you could have went with. Let's see what IQ did. IQ, yeah, I'm back to that. Whenever you see what happens. You could be in a feeler, I guess. Never went down to this low, and I would really have to take this out with some authority before, you know, getting going. This wellness name, this pot stock, woo, I don't know. You know, still an awesome trend. Here is one breakout trade. This is when you could have bought it and made some serious money. Then you had an add-on trade, gapped up, held the 8-day. Another nice trade here when it took out the 2-day pivot. And then, you know, here's when it started getting some press about Citron short. What did it do? Did it break the 8-day? No. Now here you are right near the old highs. This to me is not saying go home short. Just doesn't show me any signal, but also you have to have a real belief in this thing if you're going to be long at 3 up days. It's already tripled, but it's not showing. It can go to 150. You never know. At this point, it's above the 8-day, a tiny bit stretched, but to me, you know, it still looks like a long versus short. I know CGC didn't go up today, but did hold the 8-day. So as long as this holds the 8-day, maybe this hangs out and can give another trade to go. Last time it, you know, held the 8-day and flagged and went. As it continues to go, it's harder and harder for that to happen, but it's above the 8-day, looking pretty good. See what happens here. Even this crone, which is considered, you know, not the best in breed, more of the D class, but the little guy, holding the 8-day. Maybe one day it gets above that, and then here, if you want to short it, it's got to break there. Oil had a big day. I'm not in any of the oil names. Pretty potent day. Took this out. You know, for the broader indices, oil going up is probably a good thing. So if you bought some, you know, XLE, I guess let's see what that looks like. I didn't. Yeah, has some room, I guess. If you would draw like a downtrend here, that's one, and then here's another downtrend kind of here. So there's some room if it wants to continue. So there's some more room for an oversold bounce to take us back to neutral, but then we'll see what happens next. I am in Bank of America. I didn't feel like buying any of the other banks. Pretty tight here, just to track. Nothing special. You know, it's still caught, but at least there was a plan here. I bought it versus 30.70, and as long as I guess now I'll give it to 30.60. I'll hold it for maybe potential add if some real volume comes in above that spot. So in conclusion, there are ways to have risk off and be tactical. Since the Friday before Labor Day, I went from 70 positions to 1 or 2. The last few days I have had nothing on except for yesterday. You saw Apple and the calls. Today now I have 4, you know, positions. I think today's engulfing bar warrants a little bit of risk. You know, if we open down tomorrow, we'll see if there's some commitment to today's bar. What's commitment? Holding 50% of today's range or the top third to continue. If we open up, you'll have some inventory to sell some things that closed well. You know, and then we'll see what happens next. We'll see how Apple gets traded into the event, and can they sell the event like they sometimes do. Today's bounce was definitely bigger than I thought. I was happy to be selling 222s. I didn't think it would be going to 224 and changes. And we'll just keep moving along. September 11th, you know, this is always a somber day. I know I had 4 friends pass away in the towers. One actually, you know, lit a candle at my bar mitzvah. The other I went to college with, and then so many other acquaintances and friends, and everyone's got a story to tell, you know, about where they were and how it affected them. So a lot of people went to sleep that night, you know, kissed their loved one in the morning and thought they would be coming home. So no matter what you do, every night, you know, a little kiss for the kids and your wife, and never go to sleep mad or leave the house mad, because if you don't come home when you can't, you know, you never want to leave that way. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.